And we are live.
Welcome back to the wacky wavy station, New England. I'm Wordy Birdie Griffin over here, taking you to a sizzling hot Sunday.
Here on 107.3.4.
107.3.4.
The Shark Gator Bear.
Shark Octopus.
The Sharktopus. The Sharktopus versus Terracuda.
Tactical nuke incoming!
And a bunch of fucking lightning and
I didn't know this was an LA radio show.
Simon, the intro's gonna be destroyed. Lions and like a thunderstorm.
Alright.
Alright, you know what? Hey guys, if you're new to the radio and you're driving in your 1991 Toyota right now, you're driving down the road, you're on LA, and you're new to this radio station, introduce my co-hosts, Grant G-Man 108, Wyndham.
Eat my shorts.
Classic.
Classic 90s slang.
And I'd like to introduce Simon Bartholomew II.
This show is the bomb.
.com.
As if I was up.
What's up?
Wait, did we put what's up there? Hold on.
It was up.
That has to be up there.
What's up?
Topic number 1 of the Sharktopus.
So, yeah,
You're going with Sharktopus?
our Sharktopus talk show.
All of the Soviet Union.
We have to give some. Wait, we have to give a prerequisite to what this is, though.
Okay, what is it?
That was the bomb hitting Berlin in 1945.
No! No!
Okay, back in character.
So,
Disregard that one.
So for those of you who are new here,
Simon, you have to do the voice.
this is a little bit of a talk show we do. Here in the year 3045, people like to travel back and forth through time, and don't shut up, Grant. Here in the year 3045, people like to time travel back and forth. And with time traveling, sometimes you get a little lost. Sometimes you need a little help guiding yourself around, and that's what we're here for.
This is
This episode.
true.
The 90s.
90s.
95. We play hard rock all the time.
Woo!
You guys did this.
But of course, other things happen besides rock, like the fall of the Soviet Union, and German reunification. We're back together, baby. Glass shattered.
Okay, we need to destroy this with sound effects.
It's gonna turn into 21st century humor.
No, not quite that bad. Not quite that bad. Hey guys, Quandale Dingo here. Boom!
That's the bomb hitting Berlin.
Not again! Not again!
Alright, topic number 1 of the 90s.
Alright, so-
90s.
First, we're gonna come up with a few little things you might want to go see. Some important historical events in the context of U.S. history. Right? Things you might want to see. Tell the grandkids about.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Would my two co-hosts like to go first and explain our first major event in U.S. history?
I think I'll grab the mic, Simon.
Set the kids.
Yeah.
What's up? Whoever's listening to this, we're all doing the Spock split hands right now.
Yeah.
The fall of the Soviet Union happened in 1992.
No, it didn't.
Shut the hell up.
You were kind of close.
Hold up. We just get set up.
Hold on, we're doing research.
On December 25th, 1991, the Soviet hammer and sickle lowered for the last time over the Kremlin, therefore replacing by the Russian tricolor. Gorbachev is out, and we get Boris Yeltsin. Who is that? I don't really know. Now, after the fall of the Soviet Union, other states fell into anarchy, but Germany came together and reunified.
Fine.
Although after some troubles, this happened. It was much debate if these two states should come together because of the difference in population and economics and technology.
Ology.
Whoa!
And also with wavering political ideologies, it was unsure how this new state of Germany was going to reform. But now it became the most powerful European state, holding it together. The European Union is actively falling apart due to the recent controversies with Russia and Ukraine.
And Brexit.
Yeah.
Brexit.
Someone else take over.
So, would you like to go next, Grand?
Okay. The Waco Siege. Oklahoma City bombing.
I was just gonna pile drive right into that one.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Due to the recent allegations, we are not allowed to make jokes about the Oklahoma City bombing. It's a serious conversation and should not be joked about.
What recent allegations? This was like 30 years ago.
We're in the year
We're
3000.
technically in the year 3070.
Oh yeah, my mistake. This is 1,050 years ago.
Simon, this is very insensitive. History repeats itself.
My mistake.
On the morning of April 19, 1995, an ex-Army soldier and security guard named Timothy McVeigh parked a rented Ryder truck in front of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma City.
Are we really just gonna read the whole article off word for word?
I'll link it.
We're supposed to be like a tour guide.
He was about to commit mass murder. Well, we haven't gotten to that. We're doing history.
You can hang out with
We haven't
him
got-
in the car.
Yeah, but this is supposed to be like things to visit and why.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but we're doing history. right
Okay. Okay.
Shut the hell
Inside
up,
the
Simon.
vehicle was a powerful bomb made of deadly. I can't read this. Made of a cocktail of agricultural fertilizer and diesel fuel and other chemicals. McVeigh got out, locked the door, and headed towards his gateway car. He ignited one timed fuse, then another. At precisely 9:02 a.m., the bomb exploded. Bomb sound effect.
I'm not doing that. I'm not putting that.
Put a moment of silence every time you say bomb.
Just stretch out the audio, you mean? That's
A third
gonna
of the
sound
building
so
and reduced to
weird.
rubble. 300 nearby buildings were damaged or destroyed.
This
Oh
is
my
a serious
God.
topic.
Have you ever
I hate-
seen a picture of like what the building looked like?
Yeah, I'm looking at one.
It blew the front off of it.
Unfortunately,
It was-
as here on the Sharktopus versus Tarek, the radio station, we love
We
the
don't-
joke,
we-
but
we
this
love
is
the
a
joke,
very
but this is
serious
serious.
This is a very serious situation.
168 souls lost, including 19 children.
Anyway, the LA riots. Cy Dizzy, get on that, baby.
Side dizzy.
Cy Dizzy's got a new scoop for you. It's gonna rock your socks.
In 1992, LA had some problems. I don't know how to say. What do you want me to say about this?
You're breaking character.
You're breaking character.
We broke character a long time ago.
Okay.
Yes, we do. When we started talking about the bombing of Berlin,
Simon-
you don't think that was breaking character?
Simon Izzy, listen to me.
That's me, Simon Izzy.
Simon Izzy, Simon Izzy de Glizzy.
Izzy.
Simon Izzy de Glizzy Fizzy, listen to me.
It's my title. We're gonna keep getting longer.
Simon Izzy de Glizzy Fizzy Wizzy. We
Who's a
have
wizzy?
an article. Read off of it. It is linked.
You mean look at the tablet, because we're the future.
Wow! Look at the hologram.
Look at your NFT collection.
I hate to tell you, but an iPad is not a future thing.
It is.
You're right. It's in the present right now. 3045.
True. All right, Simon Izzy de Glizzy Fizzy Wizzy Mizzy.
Who's a wizzy good?
Well, after the Rodney King trial, I can't
Just
talk
Read
about
it.
the Rodney King trial. With the radio announcer voice.
Hey, I got you,
Can we get to
brother.
OJ?
can I do OJ?
Yes, you can
Yes.
do
Why did you go so silent?
Go ahead, Simon. Read about his trial.
I know, this is like, it's a horrible, horrible thing.
This is why you should visit.
All right. Be quiet. So Simon
It's
can be
one
the
that
most
it's
depressing
one
alive.
that hasn't died down with age either. It's one that hasn't gotten better.
Okay, Simon, well, you gotta read it. So maybe don't do the voice if you don't want to.
Due to allegations still lingering around this, we will not read this in a funny voice.
It's sad, Simon, but we need to inform.
we kind of do.
Suck it up, man, and just read it. We need this grade.
Please, I need this grade. I can't fail.
You know what, Simon? Just because you're gonna have to look this up. I'm Kaido. You're with me. Blimey, Haki.
We'll get back to One Piece later.
Alright, I've stopped laughing. We're good.
You are laughing at
I
a
am
serious
laughing.
topic.
No, I'm laughing at us doing the radio announcer voices.
Radio announcers are shameless, bro.
Some of
They
them
would've
are.
read
Some
that
of them are
crap
fine
without
people.
remorse.
Okay, Simon, cut this bit out.
We're coming back to Cock Dick the 45. The fifth fastest car in the world. Hit an old lady going down I-95. We'll get back to that when her mutilated corpse flying over another man having sex on the interstate.
What are you talking about?
Visit us at cockdig.com.
Visit us at horsecockisawesome.com.
/ Mr. Hands.
The domain for our actual site was taken by a scalper.
They demanded $40,000 in ransom.
I'm going to get a glass of water.
We've lost one of our co-hosts.
He's drinking.
He's drinking.
Alright. We don't like to talk about it.
Well, in LA, after the Rodney King trial, there were riots. A truly unfortunate thing happened. And I don't know where to go with this. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know where to go with
Just
this.
read it normally. Just read it.
No, that's not the problem anymore. I just don't. What am I supposed to say about this? There were riots after a man was beaten to death.
Participate in the riots.
Demonstrate your disapproval of social injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
G-Wizzy ain't here right now. We
On to the next topic. The Gulf War.
Glizzy.
Glizzies.
The Ulysses S. Grant is.
Ulysses S. Grant.
love that one. Alright, I'll read the goal for if you want.
You want to really go for it?
No, I like Grant.
My attorney told me to come back.
Yeah. Galicius S. Grant is returned.
Galicius S. Grant.
We have a new nickname for you.
I'm an Izzy da Fizzy Mizzy Quizzy Wizzy.
Seth Tation, the notorious SHET.
H.
I misspelled that.
I'd like to bring attention. You just called yourself shit.
Say it. I was gone.
We got through the Rodney King thing. We just said you can participate in the riots to demonstrate your hate for social injustice.
Now,
Oh, that's okay. You can say that.
the notorious G-Man, get out there and read the Gulf War.
Okay.
Our
Cephalicious.
resident Gulf War specialist, Galicius S. Grant.
Cephalicious.
Scaff Lucius.
Seth
Hold
Lucius.
Hold on. No. We're coming up with a better one than that.
Solutions.
We got Simon Izzy de Glizzy Mizzy Wizzy.
I gave you Galicius S. Grant.
Galicius S. Grant. How is that good?
Because it's like Glizzy.
Glizzy, but also your name and a general.
Galicius S. Grant.
And Seth.
And Seth. You know, Seth, you don't get like you can.
Seth Rogen, our podcast.
Whoa! Weed! Yo, I want to hear about this Gulf War thing.
Right. At the end of the Iran-Iraq War of 1980 and 1988, Iraq emerged with its state intact and reinforced with a sense of national pride. It was in massive debt. Iraq had largely financed the war effort through loans, and it owed $37 billion to Gulf creditors in 1990. Saddam Hussein called on the United Arab Emirates.
Yep.
And Kuwait. I'm not sure.
Kawaii des. I'm sorry.
Kuwait.
Kuwait. It's pronounced Kuwait.
Put Kuwait in there.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Kuwait.
I hate you.
Why?
All right, back to reading.
Yeah, the Gulf War.
War.
One of the coolest pictures ever taken.
I don't remember where I was. I lost my place.
Talking about Kuwait.
Oh, okay. Saddam Hussein called on the United Emirates and Kuwait to cancel the Iraqi debt they held, arguing that the loan should be considered payments to Iraq for protecting the Arabian Peninsula from Iranian expansionism. This appeal went unanswered.
That's whack.
Saddam Hussein didn't know what he was talking about.
As if.
And then Iraq's war debts contributed to Saddam Hussein's decision to make threats against Iraq's ridge. I'm trying to read ahead a little so I don't say something awful and stupid.
So, you guys.
Just cut this part out. Just cut this part out.
You guys like fishing?
Yeah.
I love fishing.
Well. Okay.
You know what they say, women fear me, but that's not right.
I don't know about that one.
Women fear me. That was it. I'm
Know what
not
they
allowed
say.
near children.
Women want me. Fish fear me.
Women fear me. Fish want me.
I'm a mermaid.
I'm a scaly.
Is that it?
I don't want to look that up, man.
I just said mermaid, bro.
Bro.
Well, anyway, in the Gulf
I'm trying to
War,
get to the part where it actually gets to the Gulf War instead of like the setup.
well, there wasn't a whole lot of fighting on the Gulf War actually.
Yeah, it's a lot of politics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, Saddam Hussein threatened a bunch of places. America didn't like it. That's really simplified.
The UN decided that they didn't want Iraq? Yeah, they
Iraq.
didn't want Iraq and Kuwait, so they bombed them and made them leave, but not before they burned all the oil fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. The world's
No,
fastest
don't move
wind-
on. Don't move on.
The world's fastest wind speed.
No.
We're moving on.
Simon, when you're
Wow.
editing later, get the gif of that guy on ice skates grabbing the basketball and dunking it in. That's the bombs, baby. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now loop it 7 times.
And speed it up so they're inconsistent with the speed.
Now talk about the world's fastest wind speed because you put it up here.
In Oklahoma. So this is one of those. I don't know what to call it. It's just kind of interesting. One of those cool to see kind of things. Yeah, one of r/mildly interesting.
Yeah, true.
In May of 1999, the world's fastest wind gust ever was recorded. Visit it for yourself. Self.
All right, moving on.
Imagine being in an F5 tornado with wind gusts of over 300 miles an hour.
Did somebody say
Simpson.
O.J.
O.J.
Simpson?
Simpson.
What up, Twitter world? Hey, it's me, OJ Simpson. I'm not doing that.
If I had murdered my wife, this is how I would have done it.
If I did, I'm in jail from not murdering my wife. I was trying to run away from the police in my white Bronco on the interstate. I was only caught because I was going 25 miles per hour down it. Now I'm on Twitter.
because I was driving a Bronco.
Exactly.
Play that
Oh.
video. Play it.
Him saying,
Him saying this.
What's up, Twitter world?
just get a gif of like him sped up talking.
All right, O.J. Simpson was put on trial for the murder of his wife and her friend, I think.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
I don't really know the details of the case, but
Now this
actually, I'll
is
look it up.
I am O.J. Simpson's lawyer. This is Chewbacca. I'm not.
This sounds vaguely racist.
I'm not doing no. I'm not
It
doing a
does.
South Park bit. There's an entire bit where like Randy's in trouble. And it's like they hire O.J. Simpson's lawyer, and he just walks up and says, "It's Chewbacca. He's a little different." And he wins the case.
All right.
All right, well, I got history.com right here, and I can give you some details.
On O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Witness the Simpson trial for yourself and the verdict released. And then
Make sure you put OJ, because you will find the Simpsons episode where Homer goes to jail.
In the epic 252-day trial, Simpson's dream team of lawyers employed creative and controversial methods to convince jurors that Simpson's guilt had not been proved beyond a reasonable doubt, thus surmounting what the prosecution called a mountain of evidence, implicating him as the murderer. That's all you get.
Okay. Well, by the end of it, people decided whether or not they liked him, and he didn't go to jail. And
Simon Izzy de Glizzy Mizzy, don't interrupt me.
You said you were done.
Simon Izzy de Glizzy Mizzy Wizzy Fizzy.
Glizzius S. Grant, you said you were done talking. I'll take my turn now.
Sorry, I was thirsty.
I'll go get something from our water fountain in the studio.
No.
And I'm back.
Dolly the sheep. I guess I'm talking about this one too.
Dolly, unless you want me to.
No, shut up, Simon
Fine.
Dizzy to Glizzy Mizzy Wizzy Fizzy.
Well, sorry to interrupt, Glizzy CSS Grant. Continue.
Thank you, Simon Dizzy to Glizzy Mizzy Wizzy Fizzy. Dolly was part of the Rosalind's Institute research into producing genetically modified farm animals for livestock. Alright, Dolly was the first mammal to be cloned from an adult cell. Before Dolly was born, this was impossible, or at least thought to be. Scientists believe that the specialized adult cells, those that have a certain job like skin cell or liver cell, only held the information to do with that job. Dolly was grown from a single mammary cell which contained all the information to create a whole sheep.
Watch out, mothers. Your job's taken.
No, they're not at all.
Says you, 2-bite baby.
Dolly had a lot of problems and also only lived half its lifespan.
But
It's
it did
not
live
practical.
past infancy, which is better
Yeah,
than
which
most.
By miles. Alright.
Yeah, this is a large step forwards in genetically modified technologies and the science of agriculture.
The death of Princess Diana.
Do we actually want to talk about this one? I just threw that one up there.
I think it's a little
I'd say-
too
Bro. We already did the Oklahoma City bombing.
And the
Here, I'll do Princess
and
Diana.
the LA riots.
After some deep consideration, we're not going to talk about the death of Princess Diana. Let's talk about food culture.
Alright, now we're getting to the touring section.
Now that you've heard everything that the 90s has to offer, the major historical events and things you might want to go check out while you're here, let's talk about some of the things you will see while you're here.
Now, what people who from the 90s and sad wish they could go back when now you can visit these snacks that are everywhere, found in many kids' lunchbox gushers and fruit by the foot.
Foot.
Feet.
Why?
You'll find a lot of simple carbohydrate meals. This is mainly just to fill calories for a busy family. You'll find Lay's potato chips.
Things in the 90s got weird. Companies were making all sorts of foods and snacks outside of the ordinary.
They made Uncrustables.
And Crystal Pepsi.
That was still a little weird. I don't understand that.
It was clear for some reason, and it survived for like a year before they discontinued it.
Just like
Hunters.
purple Skittles.
Purple ketchup.
No, it was Sprite Skittles.
No.
Alright. The 90s were weird.
Just like my no. No. I was about to.
Alright, activities in the 90s. So, starting us off, we've got Blockbuster.
When you're going down with your friends, what's the place you want to stop at to pick up Mario 64?
Nothing better to do.
Blockbuster.
Nothing screams 90s quite like a good Blockbuster.
Because
My
people
mom
from this
used to
era,
like
from the
Blockbuster.
80s and 90s, will shut up about it.
My mom once
Please,
told me that someone put
God.
a pipe bomb in the Blockbuster mailbox when she was working there.
That sounds about right, as
I'm
it
being
should
serious.
blow up. It was just an awful store. No one cared about it. Netflix
Except it
Being
was
serious,
better.
someone put a pipe bomb in the Blockbuster mailbox.
That's great. It definitely wasn't me.
Let's just say I've been to Blockbuster a few times.
All right, Radio Shack. It's funny.
True.
Why are we going to Radio Shack? It's just crappy
Not
radio
better than
equipment.
In the year 1995, there was a man who lived in. He was known as the Root Bandit. He often broke in local fast food diners. One time in McDonald's, he came through, but luckily the cashiers noticed him. He was sent to the North Carolina State Penitentiary. He broke out later that year. He made his way to, I think it was he made it close by. The police expected him to flee, but actually he shacked up in a recently abandoned, not abandoned anymore, now functioning Toys R Us. He lived in the walls there for years, planning his heist. He started gathering a name for in the community. He started going to church. He found a wife. He found wife, 2 kids, but she was a widow at this point. He then expanded his hideout that he built inside the walls of the Toy Story, which he had little baby cams that were disguised as plushies that hiding around the entire entrance of where his cave was. This cave extended later on into a Radio Shack where it was built more like as one reporter said, 8-year-old's fantasy. He later robbed that same place as the police busted in and found all the secretive things he found.
All right, arcade.
Arcades.
That is
Another-
true, by the way. That's a true story.
No, I believe you.
Where did you... What depth of hell did you pull that from?
I guarantee you, he only put Radio Shack up there so he could do that.
Yeah, it was.
That would be exactly what.
That
he put
makes
Radio
sense.
Shack up there.
Well, we all know
Alright,
the only people that go to
arcade.
Radio Shack are people that use ham radios.
Ham radio. Arcade.
Time to put my ham radio up to the
Let me
microphone.
tell you, there's nothing like a nice Saturday evening going down to the local arcade and putting a coin on Miss Pac-Man.
If only we could see her take flight.
If only we could see her take wing.
Ding 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 ding.
No,
Malls.
Alright, malls.
Malls. The epitome of 90s culture.
Me and Brad were going
Apparently,
down to
this
the
was
mall.
the only fun thing to do in the 90s because it's everywhere and everything.
Every time you try and figure
Mall,
out
they
something
always do
about
mall.
something to do in the 90s, it's go to the mall.
If you want to go to your local arcade, it's usually at the mall.
Yeah,
Guess
well,
where the
Brad-
Blockbuster was near? The mall.
Where
Go
stupid
mall.
Brad picked me up by my underwear and hung me on the side. Screw you, Brad. I killed your mom.
That doesn't usually happen at a mall, but okay.
Says you.
Yeah, when Brad
I
made fun of
was
me in the
Brad.
4th grade and I peed myself in the fountain.
I was Brad.
no, you better watch out for the breadster.
Brad, so you're gonna get popped.
Gonna get
H
bop.
bop.
My ultimate weapon, the H.
The
bop.
H bop.
That's like 2010.
Yeah, but it was peak comedy.
All right, I'll talk about this one.
Introduction of video games and internet. Take it away, Seth.
Now, as the introduction of video games in the early late 90s, yes, I'm Ringo. Welcome to my store.
Special guest Ringo, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. While video games have been kicking around since the 70s, the really big hit was in the late 80s and early 90s. This boom after the crash of video game. After the crash,
Ringo.
after the crash of the video game market, after the oversaturation of just pure garbage, I'm not kidding you. There was like 80 Pac-Man clones about. They were all the same game. They had one.
He's
It was
turning
called.
into Donkey.
It was called Beer Game, and it was just Pac-Man. Ghost for
That Mac
beer.
is back, baby.
The neck is back.
The pack is back, baby.
The pack is back, baby.
Anyway, after this, From the Ashes was definitely not a horrible. Nintendo kind of gaming market, the 80s. But once the 90s hit, they kind of fell from grace because they made the worst decisions known to man. Their futuristic console, Nintendo 64, by this point, still used cartridges.
Utter garbage.
It was an utter flop. PS1 outsold it by like I think 100,000.
Hey, but PS1 also outsold Xbox, I'm pretty sure.
No, Xbox was
Or was that the
2001.
PS3?
Xbox was 2001. What are you talking about? PS3?
The
PlayStation outsold Xbox for a while.
Oh,
It still does, actually.
The PS2 did.
The PS2 was
PS2 was
the
a god tier.
The 360 was the only one that outsold PlayStation.
PlayStation still won that generation.
Oh, yeah, because that's PS3.
PS3 won that.
Yeah, no,
Console war.
PlayStation just won.
The console wars.
And now PS5 is like annihilating Xbox One. Or
But anyway, by
Scarlet,
90s there
whatever
were
it's called.
a couple years that was, of course, cult classic Atari, which no one played.
Who doesn't love a good Atari game?
Brother, if you had a
If you had an
Jaguar
Atari,
64, not
Sega.
Sega with their, I think it was not the Dreamcast.
The Genesis?
No, I think it was Saturn. Sega Saturn. And then Nintendo, of course, Nintendo 64. And then PlayStation, which Sony, which actually they only made the PlayStation because Nintendo, and they said no to it.
The
Things.
Sega Genesis was 89. So
Was it?
it was definitely through 90s.
Oh yeah, freaking the Genesis had those like.
When did the Saturn come out?
That was probably 2000.
94.
Oh wow.
94.
I was right. Screw you.
I think they were both very prominent.
Seth is the supreme knowledge overlord of video games.
I've watched Scott the Wall.
Okay, well, PS3 was 2006.
I'm a video game donkey fan.
PS2 was 2000.
It was indeed.
No. This introduction of e-game,
Wrong.
there's a lot of backlash from.
Well, the PS1 was 94, so there you go.
There's a lot of backlash from the main community. The problem with selling your opponents is not really. Not many people play the same games, and you see this later on. You put 4 people who had the PS1 when it came out. I guarantee they'll play different games. But if you put 4 Nintendo 64 fans, first of all, hose them down. They haven't showered in a while, and they've almost always said Mario 64, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and other main Nintendo games. I think that over time, those ones have held up.
But it just did not simply have the cult classics that the PlayStation 1 did.
Like what, Seaman?
Uncharted.
Yes. You gotta admit though, for weird ass games that like nobody played, PS1 takes the cake, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, like Mixoff. Alright, so we're talking about mixtapes.
Well, another classic thing to do that fits right in with the 80s thing. Make yourself a mixtape. Make someone else a mixtape. Make a mixtape and give it to people. If you got someone you love, make them a mixtape. You want to love yourself, make yourself a mixtape. It was the ultimate combination of all your perfect songs you like. The songs you like, the songs you might think you like, you might think someone else likes. Maybe someone else has told you to read them. Listen, whatever. Make yourself a mixtape, slap it in your car.
PS1 games.
Yeah.
Such unknown games as Tetris, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII, Doom,
What are
Silent Hill.
What are you
Doom was
talking
not-
about?
You're saying, yes, it was.
What are you talking about?
Doom was not exclusive to the PlayStation.
No, it wasn't. But you're saying it was dumb games nobody played.
I never said it was
we-
dumb games. I just said
Doom 2,
We
many
didn't say it
people
was
do not play the
just
same
dumb
games.
games.
Mortal
We,
Kombat 3.
we didn't say it was just dumb games. We said it had all the dumb games.
It had all the dumb games, but it had such a wide selection that not many people who own the PS1 would say they played the same games because it was a wide selection. It wasn't as
The
focused.
N64 had like
Quake
3.
2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Sonic Adventure 1 was a great game.
Sonic 06.
Pepsi Man!
Sonic 06 was Xbox 360.
I know. It's just a funny game. I wanted to mention it.
Alright, well, we're gonna have to hose off Seth because he's talking like he hasn't showered in a while.
Actually. Get away from me! Get away from me! Hose.
Alright, continue.
Anyway, one of the most culture appropriate and fun things to do, make yourself a mixtape. That was it.
Shut up.
Ray William Johnson.
Transition.
And while you're making yourself that mixtape, you can learn all these sick new slang words we have for you.
So we've said here.
These are the kind of words that you might want to use if you want to fit in with the everyday life of people here in the 90s.
If you use them any other time period, you killed or seen as an absolute lunatic.
Things like dip, da bomb,
Meaning to leave.
eat my shorts, as if, not,
I thought we were going to say what they meant,
sup,
but I guess
and
not.
was we can talk about that in a second. I was just listing them all.
Morty.
Hey, no need to get angry.
You got angry first.
No, I'm not.
If you don't shut up, I'm gonna point an AR-15 at your cranium and blow up your frontal lobe.
Good luck. Bill Clinton signed an act saying you couldn't have assault rifles for 10 years.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Thanks, Bill Clinton. Get the hell out.
Thanks,
Okay, cut
Bill
that out.
Clinton.
Hold it, hold that
We hate you.
Cut that whole.
You don't want the Bill Clinton bit in there.
Because I said tweet.
Then shut the hell up.
Fuck you, Bill Clinton.
Fuck Bill Clinton. You know what you did.
Come back now. If you say Bill Clinton's name or he spawns in front of you. Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Now,
Thanks, Bill Clinton.
can I leave? I need to find Hillary.
Keep that in.
Bye.
Goodbye, Bill Clinton. Thanks for being on the show.
What a swell guy.
Swell guy.
Alright, so dip means either a stupid or unsophisticated person or to leave.
Or a tobacco product.
Also,
That doesn't come around until later. That's not in the 90s.
It's also not the slang. That's just what it's called. Alright, to bomb. Just means something's good.
Just quite like that bomb in that car on that fated day in Oklahoma.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Eat my shorts, commonly used as an insult.
An act of defiance agaay authority. Just like everybody's favorite character, Bart Simpson.
Say the line, Bart.
Say the line, Bart.
As if is short for as if I would. That's it. That's all it is.
Commonly used by white girls.
The Valley Girl.
Not just pretty self-explanatory. It's just
You say something you would like to do, and then say not to retract your words.
Let's not.
Thank you,
do
Simon
that.
Izzy Glizzy Fizzy Mizzy. That was a good description.
It certainly was not.
Oh, I see what you did there. Aight, which is our next topic. Aight is the abbreviation of all right.
Something you might say if you're agreeing with something, or maybe you just want to go. Aight, see you later, maybe.
Sup?
I'll see you later.
Alright, slap my ham. Let's go get on the town, son.
Funny you would mention SUP,
Dog.
which is abbreviation for what's up.
It's funny you speak of that. What's up?
What's up?
Make sure you stick your tongue out when you go. That was kind of weird.
Hold on.
Did I do that?
Did I do that?
Hey, Miss Hall, you're rolling your eyes yet?
Scary Movie was released in 2000. That joke does not exist.
Wait, Scary Movie didn't make that joke.
No, they did.
What did? Where did that come from if not Scary Movie?
The What's Up show.
Alright, ways you would dress. Do you guys know anything about this one?
What?
The common styles.
I mean, we're floating tentacle monsters. When I see my bro dressing in hot attire of the 90s, I say to my other bros, looking at him, I pat him on the shoulder, I say, you soak it in. And I know when he's doing this, I don't really talk to him because he's soaking in the moment.
Alright, I'm gonna veto this bit.
Can I do it? Hold on. Well, me and the bros are at the gym and we see a
So, the
hot
common
babe.
dress of the 90s. Please shut up about hot babes. The 90s had a lot of things like bomber jackets, slip dresses, fanny packs, plaid flannel shirts, Timberlands. Tim's, no way.
Quite a diverse time to dress.
Tees, scrunchies, and chain wallets. They were very large fans of leather and bright colors.
Two
And
things that
also
do not
denim.
go hand in
They don't go
hand.
hand in hand, but
But this was a transition from the 80s
Hell,
to
they
the
still
early
wore them.
2000s.
oh wait.
Don't say that, Grant. We're on air.
Simon is it glizzy mizzy fizzy. I'm sick of your sass.
I'm sick of
All right.
yours.
I hate you! I hate you! You make this job unbearable!
Alright, let's ring it in. Simon, Izzy, Glizzy, Mizzy, the Fizzy, Blizzy, Busy, but now I do Cinnamon Pinman.
Awfully hot coffee pot.
Let's talk about some car-roni bonies.
Cars.
Alright, take this away, Carman.
Cars were a very interesting time in the 90s because it was a transition from the classic boxy 80s styles, which form over function, to the more sleek and aerodynamic designs of the 90s and the 2000s, which have led to better in performance and less in style. You had such iconic cars as the RAV4, the Supra, and the McLaren F1
Jeez,
coming out and
that-
being introduced. Things like the Bronco dying out and the F-Series just starting to get their starts.
Don't talk about the Bronco. Jesus.
Hey, Seth.
Overall, there were many iconic
Jojo
cars
in
that
the
began in the
section.
90s.
That is 2012.
No, the old JoJo.
That's 2012.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
What are you talking about now?
The original JoJo cartoon was 2012. The manga was 1987.
Sorry, I'm dying.
Guys,
Yeah?
did Netflix remove JoJo?
I don't
No.
think so.
Why would they get rid of it already? They just got all of it.
Okay.
No, they haven't. No, I'm looking at it right now. We're good. Don't worry me like that.
Anyway, also talking about things going from form to function, talking about shows and popular cartoons. Take it away, Glizzius Grant and Seth.
All right. So the 90s was a prominent time for mini cartoons. Also, anime was starting to become a big thing in America then. I'm pretty sure that's when that whole thing started. Things
Kinda.
like Dragon Ball Z airing and One Piece in 1999.
Along
That
with
one-
Sailor Moon.
that one wasn't really in America though, but it aired.
It was still kind of niche in America for another decade or
If only
so.
Miss Lachlan was
But a
here to
big
talk
one
about
was Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. Those were very, very prominent shows. Many people knew what they were. They were household names almost.
Goku.
Goku, no, just the show name.
Goku,
They
just the
knew what they
word
were.
Goku.
It had a very heavy presence in Latin America. Anyway, Courage
All
the
right.
Family Guy.
So you had other prominent cartoons like Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was a very different time. The jokes were a lot more adult oriented, even though they were for kids.
It was also an extremely terrifying show.
Yes, it was horrifying. I'm pretty sure they were trying to traumatize.
Should not have
most of
watched
us
it as a
kids.
child.
Then you had adult cartoons, which were like Family Guy, which were becoming prominent, where it was literally just jokes and jokes.
Brian.
Things like The Simpsons came out, which
Dope.
The Simpsons kind of pioneered that format, I think.
Combined political humor and stupid
Yes.
funny jokes.
And then you had things like SpongeBob, which is still airing today.
Magilla Gorilla.
Magilla Gorilla, which is a more niche one, but you know, it's up here. Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
There's a lot of different Sonic cartoons.
Yeah, Sonic Underground.
That's the best one. The Super Mario Super Show.
Hey,
Super
paisanos!
Mario.
It's the Super Mario Super Show.
Also a bit of a
Transformers
niche
Beast Wars.
one.
Transformers Beast Wars, which is really good, well animated and awesome and good show.
Yeah.
Is that the awful one?
Yes, yes it is.
I recommend you check it out.
It's actually a pretty good story. Just to ignore the 3D animation they attempted in like
You did
'94.
not just say Transformers Beast Wars hitting.
Everything I've heard about it, it is actually a good show. It just looks horrible.
I'm not sure where GoBots came from, but apparently Seth thinks that's a prominent one in the 90s.
Not like Transformers, but small.
Yeah, I can see that now.
GoBots.
Dragon Ball Z. That one's pretty self-explanatory. If you don't know what it is, where have you been?
What have you been doing?
You live in a cave. One Piece, the best show ever made, still airing.
20-something years later, and it's still going.
Sailor Moon, another household name. Many people know what this is. And it was a lot of people's first exposure to anime.
A bit more of a child's cartoon than the rest, but still a good one nonetheless.
Very, very nostalgic, that one, to a lot of people. All right, The Flintstones, which is like classic, like goofy,
And
Yeah,
not
Dabba
strictly
Yeah,
the 90s.
indeed.
very cartoon-esque
Hey Barney,
humor.
hey Barney, my wife's leaving me.
I want to. Would you say the Flintstones pioneered that whole format, or like Tom and Jerry? or the Jetsons?
that was just Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera's whole thing, yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
also, the Flintstones was not the 90s. Why is that up here?
Oh yeah. Well, you know who put all those up there?
Not me.
No, I'm not trying. Simon, not everything I say is an insult to
It
you.
was a joke, Grant. It was a joke.
I'm gonna. I hate you. You make this job so awful. I hate my job.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an active shooter in the building.
See me screaming in the background. I hate this job. Gunshots going. No, we cannot.
We
do
have an
that.
active situation.
Simon.
You just cut away. No, it's
I have a question for Miss Hall. What is the grade we're going to get? No. This is not how it's supposed to go.
Hey, Flintstones aired in 1960.
Yeah, it was the 60s, bro.
Hey man, I don't know
What about the Jetsons?
Probably
Flintstones
about
ain't
the same time.
Guys, what do you guys? So,
1962.
Yeah.
so the Jetsons. Why are you guys talking? Jetsons and or Flintstones?
All right, well, those two not really, but they did air again in 1990. I know they did, and early 2000s.
They played on TV for a long time, and they still do.
Wow.
Yes.
Mama.
Fox
All right, well, that concludes our segment, I think.
Yep.
Remember to
fun,
be
great.
careful, travel safe, pay attention to your surroundings, and remember, don't drive like my mother.
Don't drive like my mother.
Cue the outro music. Like to thank our sponsors, Pennzoil and Quick Lube.
I like this job.
Like to thank our sponsors,
Oh my god. Every single day I walk in here,
Monsanto
I get
Seeds.
Nothing in return. I put so much of my
Thanks
life
for listening, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m.
I hate this job.
Hey, darling, go get me a pack of menthols, will ya?